Well, what's your band's name?
Aren't we all asking that question eternally?
We're the fire signs from Mastermind.
Yeah, we are actually. I'm an Aries. I'm Laura.
And I'm the Sagittarius, I'm Bill.
That's why we get along.
And
Sometimes.
you are what in the band?
I play.
The string instruments, we play notes.
Yeah. I play bass guitar and I sing backup.
And I play electric guitar and do everything else.
Yeah, Bill is the mastermind behind Mastermind.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the band?
Nope.
Give us a brief history of the band.
The history is just really, me and my brother have been playing music together forever, and in a long time ago in a galaxy far away, somebody said, you guys should call it Mastermind, so we did. And actually in the 80s we put out a recording that was the opposite of what everybody else is doing, and I started to get a very positive response from it. And we've been doing it ever since.
Cool.
With whoever we can talk into doing it with us.
How long have you been with the band?
I was tricked into the band about a year ago, and I've been there ever since. This band is great because this is pretty much the most talented group of musicians that I've ever played with in my whole life. And
Thank you.
yeah, you're
That's
welcome,
very nice.
Bill.
Because you're the most talented bass player we've had.
Hoorays! Yeah, it was just ever since I joined this band, I've learned a lot, done a lot of stuff. These guys are just great. It's amazing to actually go and play a show with people and just like check them out. You know, I'm concerned with what I'm doing, but I'm also checking out what they're doing, and everything they're doing is fantastic, and it's just a pleasure. Yes. Color me impressed. LOL. Oh wait, am I allowed to say it? Fuck?
Yeah.
Yes.
L-O fucking L then.
Fuck.
Nice.
There, it's all there.
Uh,
What about motherfucker? Cocksucker.
I don't know if you should do
Cocksucking motherfuckers.
That's okay, we can cut that right out. Do you, what are your thoughts on the current music scene?
It blows. If
It
you
blows.
mean the commercial music record company scene, it blows because it's controlled by gigantic corporations that have a little tiny slot that you have to fit through.
It's true, and it seems everywhere we go, like the live music audience is dwindling, and we think that sucks. It's like nobody appreciates talent anymore. All they want to do is listen to. I don't even know what they want. I don't know what they want. It's like
They don't want
what can
anything.
we do to?
Well, it's an apathetic scene. It's a bunch of people that have been overexposed to everything.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is when we were in Buffalo, we picked up a newspaper, had an article that was about the guy in the Foo Fighters, and they were putting on shows at high schools. And these kids in high school that were 17 and 18 years old, this was the first time they've ever seen a live band play in their life. It was when the band came to school and played.
That's sick.
And they were knocked out by it. They didn't think they were going to like it. They'd just never seen it before.
It's really weird because like when you know we play out and once people actually get a taste of what it is that we do and like the instrumentalism and like I mean we really work hard to be a quality band, you know, and give them something to like, and people invariably enjoy it. They do. So
From a real wide demographic.
yeah.
On MySpace
It's
we have
true.
like the, you know, teenage
So maybe
girls.
one of the problems is that is that people aren't being exposed to quality music anymore. They are, like Bill said, they're being exposed to all the commercial shit that's being shoved down their throat. So, you know.
It's very historic in the big picture because the pop music scene in the mid-70s was like that, but the corporations weren't quite so big. It wasn't a giant corporation that bought every little record company and then it was one humongous thing run by a guy in a suit who all he knows he sold units of what? He didn't know.
Like back then, wasn't it more like a regional thing? Like, you know,
Well,
stations in Philly were playing something?
The record companies are run by people who actually like music. Look at Emmett Ergen. And,
Now they're run by people who like money.
right, exactly. Which killed the quality of the product.
Yeah, I mean, I like money. I like money. If anyone out there wants to send me any money, that would be that'd be great. But I like producing quality music more.
But then that brief period from the mid-60s to the mid-70s was when the most creative music happened, because there was enough of a corporate marketplace to be able to promote it and present it to people, but it wasn't so controlling that it told them what to do. And that's music that's still legendary to this day, because when the big corporations smelled big money in the 70s and then kind of took over, the corporate grip tightened, and then into the conservative Republican years, the bigger corporations bought. Even the corporations are even huge at the time. The biggest music company in the world is Seagram's. Right? Universal Music is owned by Seagram's.
Is it really?
Yeah. I think they sold it because it wasn't...
Of alcoholic fame?
Yeah, Seagram's, the whiskey company.
It's weird.
I said, that looks like a good investment. And then Clear Channel bought all the radio stations.
Yeah, which apparently is the death of music.
Yeah, and so record sales are down. Profits are up, but record sales are down. The music industry blames it on the internet, and the truth is, I just blame it on the homogenous
That's
crap
shit,
that's
though.
pumping
Like,
out.
I mean, if used properly, these people can make so much profit and gain off of the internet
But
and
it's
just
more
that kind
work.
of exposure. Well, Tool, their latest album, as we
Yeah,
know,
went gold in
they
one
sold,
week.
yeah, like they sold the most copies, ever recently of like any album. And Maynard's comment was, I'm surprised that it did as well as it did because of the internet.
It's still not close to Nickelback or Shinedown and these other homogenous bands.
Yeah.
And it's television that brings it to the people.
Well, television, if used properly, though, could be another good media. Like, there are shows out there that have bands, like every episode, like, at the end of the episode, they have, like, oh, music was provided by blah, 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 and they list all these bands and stuff like that. So it could be a good medium if used properly. But I don't think it is.
No, there's a
They
million
want the
reasons why,
Nickelbacks.
and I just think it has to do with lack of education, apathy, overexposure.
Nickel slack.
I mean, I was looking at MySpace, there's 425,000 rock bands on MySpace alone. And that's just the rock category, that doesn't include death metal and metal and everything else. And
Only one of those bands is any good, and it's called Mastermind.
That's right. So now how do you get the people that are going to the 424,999,000 other sites to come to our site? Well, it takes marketing dollars. And that's why it's easier to reach people in Europe and Japan, because it doesn't take quite so many dollars to reach the individual territories. Each place, like France and Germany and England, all have their smaller contained marketing things, whereas the US, you need huge money to reach the whole entire country. And those huge corporations are very tight with the people that control everything.
It seems like in Europe and Japan, they're more receptive to actual music.
But that's
too.
fading out too, as the McDonaldization of the whole world, as we shove our corporate greed down everybody's throats.
Yeah. By all means, let's build more Starbucks.
Right, and make more Nickelbacks. But ultimately, if people are exposed to something that they really like, they will sell it. For years and years, they said a hard rock band with a chick singer will never fly, and none of these bands are getting signed. And Evanescence kind of wormed their way up, and even though it's kind of poppy in quality, it's pretty good rock. And it sold 12 million copies. It was like an amazing Cinderella story, and nobody saw it coming. People will buy the stuff that they think is good and they like, but they have to be exposed to it. So.
Yeah, they do. They do.
And it still requires media. And the media that's in everybody's house, that everybody sits around, is the television.
But it's becoming computers more and more.
Yeah, I think they said more people voted for, what's that stupid
American
Idol than
Idol.
voted for president.
And I bet they're right.
It's unbelievable. But American Idol
Yeah,
is,
because who wants to vote for Bush,
They don't want to vote for anybody. It's like they're apathetic. It's the apathy.
Yeah.
But there is, there is music in the world. These giant guitar centers everywhere prove that there's kids that want to play guitar.
Yeah, but we went to that guitar center in Buffalo. And we saw that kid
go
to
haircuts.
we saw 17 kids with the exact same haircut, and each of them went up to the pointiest guitar possible, picked it up, plugged it in, and immediately went tuned it right down to D, man, just started out they weren't
Right.
playing music, they were just sticking their fingers on the guitars and
These
random
bands
patterns.
doing that are not going to last 30 or 40 years like
No.
the bands that are still out there.
Right.
That came from that little space and time between little corporations and giant corporations. I mean, Led Zeppelin, Cream, the Beatles, all that stuff where the artists had creative control. They didn't get producers, they were self-produced bands. Led Zeppelin was Jimmy Page's idea of what he thought music should sound like.
There are bands out there that are doing it. I always bring Opeth back to...
Well, there's
like,
exceptions to every rule.
Yeah, like Opeth is my example of a band that actually like systematically does music that they like, that they do for their fans, they care about their fans, they go out there and do it. And the only reason they signed to a major label was to, you know, like make more money. Like somebody was offering. No, they are. I forget. I think they're
I thought it was Century Media or something.
It's like Roadrunner or Century Media.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of
those
those,
aren't
like,
considered major labels.
well, it's one of those
There's only, like,
larger
4 major
labels and
left.
everything like that. And they were like, oh, you want to give us a deal? That's cool. We'll take all your money. Can we still do the stuff we want to do? Yeah? Alright, cool. Well, we're going to. That's what we're going to do. And that's what they do. The only difference is now they're exposed to a wider audience.
But
because
the
of
amount of
benefits
records bands like that sell doesn't even come close to what a real big major label like Atlantic or Universal.
Yeah.
If you don't sell 150,000 records in Atlantic in the first 6 months, you get dropped. Whereas these type of bands like Opeth probably sell 150,000 of a release in 3 years.
Yeah, but they're great. Oh my god. Best show I ever went to was Opeth. Easily. Anyway, what's the next question?
What's the square root of pi to 4 digits?
God
8 digits. Pi? You
Do
got
not-
pie? Fuck!
Do not bring that up.
I want some fucking pie. Can I have a Superman shirt?
I don't think I can give you one of those.
And I think part of it is age too. We get a strong response online from kids, like young kids, 13, 14, 15. I have little fans all over on MySpace that just love this stuff, and then it tends to be an older crowd after that. There's like a middle in their 20s, sort of raised in the Reagan era of no music in school, no art in school. I think that has a lot to do with it. When I was a kid, you know, like in the 3rd or 4th grade, they gave you an oboe, and then they gave you a violin, and said, take this home and play with it for a week. And some people, you know, took to a particular instrument, or at least discovered that they enjoyed music, and when Reagan administration exported the education to other countries like India, so that they could build a giant military and control the whole world or whatever, there was no, music was one of the first things to be taught in music schools. So kids don't even get exposed to instruments to touch or play.
They're even cutting recess and like gym class. And,
Yeah, new gym classes
like everything.
going. So we get fat, right?
Yeah, by
I'm
all
not
means,
fat, I'm
let us
American.
produce a society of just flesh blobs who like don't do anything or
But
like anything.
Angry flesh blobs.
Yeah.
But wait a minute.
Fuck is the point
Wasn't
of
that
that?
Hitler's idea? Well, anger is easily focused. It's their fault. Hate them.
Yeah.
It's their fault. Hate them.
Well, that's what Bush tried
It's
to do.
wimpy Democrats. It's guys with turbans. It's
Right.
Mexicans. It's, you know, it's gay marriage. It's the gays that cause all the problems in
Yeah,
our country.
let's waste all our time on that. While you know, you can't walk down streets in the ghettos because you will get shot. But that's not really a problem. We'll just ignore that. And but the gay marriage is ruining our whole country and society forever. So
Exactly. I think we should
Yeah.
go saran wrap them to a tree and set them on fire. A lot of it just has to do with education. Okay, people are
Yeah.
exposed to music.
yep.
So we reach them through the internet and so forth, but it's hard to get enough of them together in one particular physical
Yeah, because
region.
the internet is just like this huge conglomeration of like donkey porn and
But I mean,
freaking
you
like
know, we reach people in Europe and Japan and stuff and get distribution through virtual connections. But those people aren't going to come to a show in Ithaca or
Well, they
Philadelphia.
can't.
So.
They can't.
Exactly.
That's the thing, yeah. Like we do have like a really widespread fan base, like all over the world. Like we get guys from Japan who are going, "Hey, emergency suck my ass, #1 mastermind, kicking ass."
Exactly.
You know?
Nice.
And you know, we get like German guys who love us. We get like people
From all over.
From all-
Argentina, Chile, Israel,
and all over the United
Russia,
States too.
yeah, all over the States.
I mean, they're all over the place. But like, how do we go play a live show? I mean, maybe we could just do a netcast or
Yeah,
whatever
I
you want
think
to
that's
call it.
probably what we should do. But once again, that's media.
Yeah, that's a
of
really
sorts.
good
It
idea.
takes massive media to reach all the people not to know it's there.
Yeah, sure I do. You're pretty bad,
So,
What was the question, man?
what would you guys say is the weirdest thing that's ever happened at a show?
What year is that from?
Saran wrap into a guy to a tree was pretty weird, I
Yeah,
gotta
that was
say.
up there.
I mean, on stage?
All the deal that you
Well, I don't
would
know,
have to
I
pick
can't think
something from
off the
80.
top of
What's wrong
my
with
head.
that?
I
83
think
is the
either replayed
worst
so
year
many
ever.
shows.
83 like is the suckiest of the sucky.
I don't know, they all seem to be kind of the
What
same.
do you mean, what am I talking about? You should know. Everyone here knows.
Wow, what a boring answer. We got nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing on that one.
Yeah, I totally got nothing on that one too.
Gothstock was pretty weird when on one side of the stage they're going, yeah, yeah, and the other side of the stage they're going like this, cut, cut, cut.
Yeah, we just kept playing.
Yeah. Yeah, Gothstock was pretty weird because goth, nobody even knows what a goth is. I think.
No, goth is a style. It's not a musical genre.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, it's hard to have a festival called Gothstock because what in the world is goth, you know?
Well, I think music is related to culture and politics and everything. There's not a unifying force.
No.
There's not something that connects all these people. And I think that there's deep, covert, political reasons for all that kind of stuff happening. You're an individual. Remember, stress your individuality because individuals have no power. Groups have power.
That's true. Wow, the world's a scary place.
Uh-huh.
Would you guys say it's all been worth it up to this point?
You never know. Playing music is a fabulous thing to do, and I'll always do it. Economically, probably not. For love or for money, right? But then again, you know, the greatest music that we have in the world today, most of those people didn't make money in their lifetime, so they did.
Pretty much what needs to happen is one of us needs to die. And then the band will, you know, soar into
Yeah, I was thinking
everlasting popularity. One of us is pretty much going
we
to
should
have
blow
to
up a
commit
plane and like, I don't know, foil a terrorist attack or something like that.
suicide.
We
Yeah,
should stage an attack and then foil it,
we should do that.
fake our deaths.
Because otherwise, how are we going to get on the front pages?
You know, it just takes one strange thing to hit the wire service. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Tracy McShane.
There
Hello.
you go.
Hi there.
This is Tracy, our singer.
She
She
says
is
fuck a
freaking
lot.
great.
Yeah, I do. Fuck.
I mean, she's fucking great.
Ew. I'm just kidding. That's not nice. I don't know.
Thanks very much. I hope we pass the audition.
Yeah, we passed the audition. We love you all.
Any
Thank you so
questions
much.
for Tracy?
So you missed most of the interview. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Well, not that I heard anything, but I just love being in Mastermind, and I love playing with Bill and Laura and Richard, and I just hope that things move forward and we venture on.
Yes.
Yes.
And with
Ronald!
places like Last Exit for the Lost.
Yes. That's about it. Ding ding.
Can you Photoshop our teeth to glisten a little more?